All Things Covered listeners, if you're not checking us out on YouTube, make sure you rush to YouTube right now. Just visit youtube.com/all things covered so you can see BMac and Pat Peterson. Oh, by the way, for guys that are currently watching this, if you see Pat P in the background, he has a nice Vikings color warm up in the background. Oh, by the way, Pat P, I'm still waiting on my number 7
Got you, dog.
jersey. That
It's
purple
coming.
7 should be coming to me shortly, sooner than later. And when he sent it to me, YouTube fans, I will wear it during the show. But as you see, Pat P already repping his new city, already repping his new team with that nice purple warm up in the background. And I see Supreme too. Oh, that's pricey. Check us out on YouTube. First quarter of the show. I think defensively, we're going to come out, play a little cover 3, get a nice drive going defensively. This is the chopping it part of our show. Chopping it up is a segment where we like to talk about things surrounding the NFL. Last week, the NFL draft happened, and Pat's second favorite city, Cleveland, Ohio,
Cleveland.
hosted the NFL draft. And I can tell you this much: Thursday night, the weather was not playing friendly. It was
What was it?
cold. It was cold, and it was
And what?
raining. It was in the low
Oh,
40s,
oh, okay.
and it was windy.
Did I not say the sun do not come out in Cleveland?
It
Did
came
I
out
not
on
say that?
Saturday. You did? No, it came out
It's
Sunday.
always
It came out
great
Saturday.
there, bro.
Man,
It
it was
is
great.
always great
But
in the city of
I
Cleveland.
can tell you this much: they did a great job in hosting. The fans still came. They came out in support. People are fired up about this upcoming
Vegas,
2021
right?
season. Yeah,
Next year's
yeah,
Vegas.
you jumping the gun. Now we still
No,
got to give
I
our
thought you was gonna say the 2022 draft. That's what I
No,
thought.
no, we gonna give Cleveland their flowers. They did a great job in hosting 2021, but we know what 2022 is going to look like. But because the draft happened last week, we felt that it's only right during our chopping it up part of the show we talk the NFL draft, and then we're going to highlight the Minnesota Vikings. Why? Because that's the team Pat Peterson plays for. The Vikings. They traded back from 14 to 23 and selected offensive tackle from Virginia Tech, Christian Darrisaw. I love his game. He's a mauler. Pat P, I wouldn't be surprised to see him start at least by week 2 or week 3. He's that type of player. So I love the first round selection. In the second round, you guys went and got Kellen Mond from Texas A&M with the second round pick. I think he was number 66 overall. I love that addition as well, providing some depth at the quarterback position from our friend of the show, Kirk Cousins. You look at the backups there currently on the roster. They have Nate Stanley's, not really notable names to back up Kirk Cousins. So I like that pick in the second round. In the third round, you went and got athletic, versatile linebacker who used to play quarterback at North Carolina, Chad Surratt. In the third round, you also drafted another friend of the show, former guest, Janarius Robinson in the fourth round. In totality, you drafted 6 offensive players and 5 defensive players in the entire draft. Thoughts on your first round pick? I know you might not know too much about Christian Darrisaw, but I can tell you this much, Pat P. Being able to move back and get him at 23 is a huge plus. I think he's going to be a difference maker for you guys. And remember, you asked me, I think it was last week, which area you guys were targeting. I said either defensive line or offensive line in the first round, and they came out and got an offensive line player. So I think you're going to be definitely happy with this. Question I have for you: took a quarterback in the second round. Were you surprised to see that or hear that after the fact that it happened? Kellen Mond, like I said, an experienced quarterback who was coached by another friend of the show, Jimbo Fisher, who we had on the show during the season. But what were your thoughts when you heard Kellen Mond, quarterback, went in the second round to the Vikings?
Honestly, I didn't have any thoughts at all. You know what I mean? Not really knowing and, not being around a team and seeing, some of the things that they really wanted to go after or, if they were really happy with their quarterback situation. So, I'm just out in the blue like the fans are, I've just been seeing some of the feedback that, that the team has been getting as far as their draft class, been getting a lot of praise on the guys that they selected last week. So I'm taking that as a good thing. You know what I mean? I hear a lot of great things about Christian. Like you said, he's here. He's a building mover. That's the that's what's coming from from his name. So I think that was a great pickup hearing the talks that's coming with his name. So and all the other guys really not really familiar with the guys that we picked up. I know we picked up my guy.
Robinson.
Yeah,
Yep.
Janoris. Yeah, we
Yep.
picked up Janoris. No, yeah, in the fourth round.
Hmm.
And also the guys
I
on
love that pick, by the way. I think he's going to be a huge asset to the ball club this season, special
yeah,
team wise, and if he get an opportunity in defensively.
shout out to all our all things covered draftees. All the guys that came on all things covered got
Oh
drafted.
yeah, we came through. I mean, our
Yeah,
guests
we
that we
got
had on,
who we had.
we had the first defensive player,
Yeah,
J.C. Horn. He went number 8 to the
yeah,
Panthers. He said on our show he was the best defensive player, and I
that
guess
he
the
did.
NFL felt the same way because he was the first defensive player to come with the board. Gregory Rousseau,
Gregory
number 30, 30th. He went 30th to the Bills.
Bills,
Asante Samuel Jr. went in the second round to the
Chargers,
Chargers. Rondale Moore went second
Rondé,
round to
yeah,
the Cardinals.
Rondell, yeah.
And
Oh,
Robinson
Mike,
and Mike Strawn. And
yeah,
and
went
and
to the
and then
coach.
the good thing about Mike Strawn is that when he got drafted to the Colts, Eric filled me in on this information, Pat P. Our YouTube show that we had with Mike Strong involved got so many clicks because people were trying to find information regarding him. You know what I mean? Because he went to a small school, so people was typing in his name in YouTube, and all things covered showed up, and so many people were tuning in to our previous conversation that we had with Mike Strong, just try to figure out who he is as an individual, and of course looking up some of his football highlights. But yeah, we the show that we had with Mike Strong has really elevated when it comes to clicks and viewerships, because a lot of people are tuning in, Colts fans primarily, trying to figure out who he is as an individual.
Right, that's big.
Yeah, yeah.
And
So,
also, hell, Alabama just stole the damn show.
oh
They
yeah,
had six
yeah.
first rounders,
Yo, check
tied for
this
the
out
most
though.
ever.
After day one, that 2017 Alabama team, after day one, when all the first rounders were selected, that 2017 team had a total of 40 guys drafted.
Yeah.
After day one, that 2017 roster had 40 guys to get drafted after the first round. So Alabama was just doing what they do best. The SEC dominated. Most ever, 65 players selected. ACC had 42. The Big 12 did not have one player to go in the first round, by the way. LSU had 7 players picked. Florida State had 4. The state of Florida, most of any state, had 37 players from Florida get
Where
picked.
real athletes come from.
Hey, but check this out though, Pat P. 12 players
from Broward.
selected from Broward County.
That
We had
gotta be
that
the
conversation with Greg Russo.
That gotta be the most.
12 players.
And Asante.
Yeah, he's in that. Yeah, we talked about that with Son
Yeah.
also. But get this, 12 players from the county, Broward County, right, were selected. The state of Louisiana had, I think, only 13.
Wow. But they say, Texas and Arizona, Louisiana got a little bit better football, huh? That's what they say.
That's what they say. Broward County also had more players from the state of Ohio, the state of Pennsylvania, and another state. They had more players.
Man, we
just the county alone.
Man.
Oh, no question. No question. And when you look at the highlight of the draft, I think in the first round, Pat P, the quarterbacks, that was a huge focus. Overall focus. The Trey Lance went number 3 to the 49ers.
Yeah.
Justin Fields went 11 to the
Which
Bears.
I told you they wasn't taking no dang on.
You said that.
Mac Brown.
I
meant Mac Jones.
He said
told they weren't taking that man.
Mac Jones went into a great situation though. He did. 15.
I will say that might be the steal of the quarterbacks though, in my opinion.
Yeah. Did you see his walk to the podium? Did you see commissioner? Did you see his fast trot?
Oh man, he said that's what he wanted all along.
Did you see how fast he was walking though?
Man, I did, man. I thought the man was gonna trip over his pleat bottom pants, man.
Yeah. But how surprised were you when you saw Trey Lance go number 3 to San Francisco? Team he used to play against in the division. They traded up a lot. They traded up to go get Trey Lance. Must saw something special in him. How surprised were you seeing that?
Man, I thought they really was gonna go at Fields.
I did too.
Yeah,
I thought either Fields or Mac Jones.
yeah. I knew they weren't going with Jones. I
Yeah.
knew that for a fact. But I thought Fields. I thought Trey was a bit of a surprise to me.
Yeah,
I
I
thought
agree.
I thought he would end up where Fields is. I thought he would end up out of the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think he's gonna work well. He got I mean, his athletic ability, his upside though is just unbelievable. And just
Yeah.
have an opportunity to watch some of his clips and the way he's able to spin the ball, and he a dog, man. And you can't deny that for sure.
And the luxury that they have with Trey Lance, they don't necessarily got to force him into
Yes,
action right now,
right
because
now.
Jimmy Garoppolo know he's playing on borrowed time in San
Yeah.
Francisco. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
Jimmy's a starter, and I think the reason why they went and got a quarterback because they didn't want to continue being left in limbo when Jimmy get hurt.
yeah.
That's been Jimmy mo. He
Mm-hmm.
played. He finished the season once, and they went to the Super Bowl. All granted, he's great when he's on the field,
I agree.
but when he's not on the field, the team suffers. So
No question.
that's why it was a no brainer. They had to go out and get a quarterback because the quarterbacks that they had, they can win with them, but they couldn't compete.
Mm-hmm.
And in this league, you want to be able to compete and not just win. You know what I mean? Obviously, you want to be able to win and be in position to win, but when you have the opportunity of having 53 guys on the same page that's putting you in the best position to compete
Yep.
to win, hey man, that's all you can ask for.
No question. In other draft news, and this is a question I'm throwing at you, Pat P, and I'm throwing out to our listeners and our viewers. Familiar faces, right? Jamar Chase will rejoin Joe Burrow in Cincinnati. Jalen Waddle will rejoin Tua Tagovailoa in Miami. Devontae Smith will rejoin Jalen Hurts in Philly, and Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne will pair back up in Jacksonville. So, out of all the familiar faces, who do you believe will have the stiffest hurdle to get over, the toughest hurdle to get over in the NFL this upcoming season? You got Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, Cincinnati, Jalen Waddle, Tua Tagovailoa in Miami, Devontae Smith, Jalen Hurts, Philly, and Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne. Who do you think will have the toughest hurdle to get over?
I say the two rookies. Not saying they're not going to be successful, but Jalen had the opportunity to go through a season, so he understands what it takes to study and be in position, and the proper rest and things like that throughout the season. Same thing with Tua. Joe, had a great campaign as a rookie, so they'll be able to lean on, like, Devontae, Waddle, and Jamar be able to lean on Hurts, Tua, and Joe more than Trevor and Travis will be able to lean on each
Mm-hmm.
other. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So I think those two guys will have the stiffest hurdle to climb. But it's good to have that that running back combination, because obviously you want to run the ball to control the clock, and
Mm-hmm.
you need to put the ball throughout the air to put points on the board. So it's a great combination, but I think early on they may struggle and they may not. But I just think with those guys being both rookies, they got the toughest challenge in front of them.
I can see that. No question. I think outside of the rookies, I'll go Philadelphia and Devontae
Okay.
and Jalen Hurts in Philly. And the
Yeah,
reason why I
I was
say
gonna say
that,
them too.
wide receivers, the current group of wide receivers is young guy on young guy. You know what I mean? When
Right.
you look at Joe Burrow with Jamar Chase, he got Tyler Boyd.
Right.
T.
He can
Higgins, who
grow.
played real good football. So they got some
Exactly.
other experienced weapons at the pass catcher position. It's safe to say Philly don't have a designated number one right now. I
Right.
mean, you might have to
Yeah.
throw Jalen Rager's name into that equation, but he was hurt a lot. So Devontae has to learn from other young guys who's still trying to learn the position themselves.
Right.
And that's not a good recipe for a young quarterback throwing to a bunch of young guys. So outside of that Jacksonville answer, I'll go Philly with my answer. And last piece of draft notes that we like to highlight. 0 players from HBC schools selected. Now, you got to look at the nature of their season, which is currently taking place right now. I think they're
Yeah.
done, but it took place during the springtime of the year. So I don't know how the league were able to assess and really properly scout these guys, but they will have their own pro day their own combine, to say the least, that we talked about in some of our previous conversations we had with some HBCU representatives. So hopefully this will be the last NFL draft where we will see 0 players selected from HBCU schools, because we know they produce real top level talent. Just got to be able to get that talent, give that talent the opportunity to be seen and be drafted accordingly. But in all, real good draft outside of the gloomy, cold weather in Cleveland. Real good draft. Minnesota got better. A lot of teams got better. Can't wait to see this upcoming season. Now it's time for your favorite part of the show and one of my favorite parts of the show. Has Pat heard? If you're a new fan of the show, this is a part of the show we decided to implement because during the off season, Pat is moving around. He loves to travel. He loves to golf. So he's not really in tune about what's happening around him in the sporting world. So we decided to try to check his knowledge a little bit. His overall record so far, 24 of 38. Out of 38 questions, he's gotten 24 right. Last week, the committee came out and said he's 2 out of 4 last week. 50%. 2 out. Yes, the committee. They came together. They decided it was a few questionable answers from you, Pat P. They decided to go the opposite direction.
I got 2 challenge flags, don't I?
Yeah. No, you only got 1. You only got 1. Just like the NFL
I thought the league get 2 challenge flags.
Well, you got to get 1 right. Last week you didn't get 1 right, so you lost it. You only had 1 last week. So this is the first question for Has Pat Heard? Guys that are listening to us, guys that are watching us on YouTube, do you think Pat will get this one right? First question for you. Did you hear that Aaron Rodgers is happy with the Green Bay Packers and reportedly threatening to retire?
No, man, he's unhappy, man. You said the man.
I mean, unhappy. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. Unhappy.
So evidently I heard that, right?
Yeah. Okay. You heard that one. Okay. You wasn't under a rock. This past Thursday, Packers have come out and said they're not trading him. Broncos are rumored as a potential destination. We all know last year's draft in 2020, they spent a first rounder on a quarterback. Green Bay, talented team last 2 years, made it to the conference championship game in the past 2 seasons. But Aaron Rodgers is unhappy. Do you think he will get traded at some point in time this season?
Quarterbacks are a little bit more demanding than any other position, on the field. So, is it possible? No doubt about it. Is it out of the question? No. I wouldn't be surprised that he would be, get traded to another team. But I wouldn't be surprised if he get traded to another team. If he's coming out, saying that he's unhappy, and there haven't been reports of him, I guess backing those statements or coming out saying that, that's false or this, that, and other, apparently he is unhappy. So, it's been some turmoil, boiling, for a while that we've been hearing, in the network, over the sports world. Mm-hmm. And, it looked like it's finally about to come into fruition. So, we'll see what happens, but I won't be surprised if he get traded.
Well, if that happens, if that becomes a reality, I think it's safe to say the Vikings should be the favorites in the black and blue division.
You think so?
NFC North, no question. If they trade Aaron Rodgers, your new team should be the.
I did see this, which would be interesting though. They said that Seattle was trying to do off an even trade.
What? So Seattle would get Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay would take Russell Wilson? Wow. It's crazy. Well, I mean, clearly he has another potential opportunity hosting Jeopardy. So, that could be a great.
Both of them have been, both of them have come out and say they have been unhappy. So, that could be a possibility.
Hey, Pat, if you could host a game show, which show would it be?
If I had an opportunity to host a game show
like Aaron Rodgers did, Jeopardy.
Oh man, probably Family Feud, man.
No, Pat. I saw you on Family Feud. That answer.
You said a host though.
Yeah, but to be a host, you got to be a good participant. Also, I don't think you're a good participant on Family Feud.
That ain't true, man. Some of them answers, bro. You got to think weird, like, because I watch Family Feud, so you can't give the obvious answer all the time. Pat, so you have to think out of the box.
What was the question you had that had everybody rolling?
It was like, where you go to cry in
as a female. As a female, where do a female go to cry
So closet was already taken up. Bathroom was already taken up. Car was already taken up. I forgot the other one. Tell me what else you gonna choose.
You said go to a bar.
I said a restaurant.
Yeah, you know,
So, all
people
right,
now,
so,
they
so
got
you
too
tell
much
me you got
pride.
10 seconds. You got 10 seconds. Where you gonna cry? Where would a female go cry after a breakup? 10 seconds.
Best friend house. Best friend house.
Oh, that's a good one. Man, you already had it though. Like you already,
What
like,
now
you
you want
already
to give my
saw it like
props?
3. All right, give me another one then. In
Best
10
friend
seconds.
house.
1,
Uh,
2, 3,
out
4,
in the car,
5.
in the garage. Neighbor's
The
house.
car was
Neighbor's house.
the car is already gone. The car
Neighbor's house.
in the garage. That's all their friend's house. Bam, you got it wrong.
Well, I don't know if you'd be a good host, but you can go ahead and try to host Jeopardy.
Hey,
Well,
it'll
you know
either
what?
be
You
that.
could do Jeopardy. I mean, not Jeopardy, but Family Feud, because all you gotta do is ask the questions. You
That's
right.
it. That's what I'm saying. That or freaking I like Wheel of Fortune too though.
Mm.
I can do Jim Carrey job. I got great energy.
You said Jim Carrey.
Yeah, I mean I said Jim Carrey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I said Jim
No,
Carrey.
that's The Price is Right. Jim
Oh
is
yeah,
on The
you're
Price
right.
is Right.
My bad. Price is Right. Price is
Drew
Right.
Carey. Drew Carey
Drew
is
Carey.
hosting The Price is Right. Shout out to Drew Carey.
Yeah, Drew Carey. My bad, Drew. Man, you don't want me on the show. I tell you that.
Yeah, you might. Pat Sajak is the Wheel of Fortune host. Him and Vanna White.
Okay, yeah, I don't want to do Wheel of Fortune. It's too slow for me, man. I like action, man. I like to be involved with people, and you can be involved with people on Family Feud.
Yeah,
and The Price is Right.
Well, we'll keep that in the back of our minds. Whenever you get another opportunity to be on Celebrity Family Feud, hopefully you have a better answer. All right, so you got the first one right.
Time out, Mac. I was the one that got us started on that subject because I was the one that go up there.
You won the buzzer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So give me some credit, man. Don't be doing me like
credit.
that, dog.
You had a good suit on. You had a good suit, and you got the team started off with winning at the buzzer.
Thank you, man.
I tipped my brim
that
to you.
round, but I definitely got us started.
All right, next question. Tim Tebow worked out with what NFL team?
Jacksonville Jaguars as a tight end. Everybody want that boy back, man.
Okay. All right. You 2 for 2.
I'm on fire, man. Somebody call Phoenix Firehouse.
Question for you regarding Tim Tebow. Why was it so difficult for him to replicate the success he had in college going to the NFL, you think?
I think because, in college it's a little bit more easier to tailor make a certain style or, a game plan around one player. You know what I mean? And I feel like, especially when you have the opportunity to go get players that fit that scheme as well, like the Percy Harvins, like, the Chris Rainey's, the not Devontae, I can't think, Chris
they had
Riley's. I mean, the list goes on. You know what I mean? The Riley Coopers.
Riley Coopers.
Yeah, Aaron Hernandez. When you get the Pouncey twins, when you get guys like that you're able to surround a guy that runs a specific style of offense, it's easier to flourish in that on a college level. Now, when you go into and we all knew that Tim Tebow wasn't the best at throwing the football, as far as accuracy, as far as arm strength, pushing the ball down the field, hitting those deep shots, and being consistent with it. So it was always a gamble, when he was coming into the league anyway, because, I felt like, going up against him, we haven't quite seen enough to see if he was going to be able to adapt to the NFL level.
Yeah.
I think, that's why it was so, that's what makes college and the NFL so difficult. That's why, teams are doing a lot more research now versus just going and picking a Heisman Trophy winner, because he was a damn good football player in college. But is that talent going to transition over into the league, or what you have your offense and vision of doing? So now if he came into the Days League, he probably would have been a little bit better off, because now teams are looking for mobile quarterbacks. Teams are looking for, having that little bit more play action boot type options in their repertoire on the offensive side of the ball. So, I think it was just bad timing for him, because he is a hell of an athlete. We were able to see what he was able to do in the pro style offense. That's something that didn't fit his style. But hopefully, he get another shot at tight end and make the best of it. Because like I said, he is a hell of a ball player. You can't deny that.
No doubt. And I think one thing that made Tebow special, he knew his limitations.
Right.
Wasn't a very, very good thrower of the football. You mentioned that, but he played with a lot of heart.
No doubt about it.
You know what? He
You
played
always
with a
had
lot
a
of heart.
chance. He wasn't the best quarterback out there, but you had a chance with Tim Tebow on the team because he put that fight and he put that passion and just that something inside of his teammates that gave them that belief that they can go out there and do anything possible.
And he had a great cast around him, like you said. And one thing, too, we failed to mention, it seems like every place that Urban Meyer has been, the quarterback has always excelled. It's safe to say he runs a quarterback-friendly type offense. Going back to his Florida days, going back to Utah, most recently at Ohio State. Look at all the quarterbacks he was a part of there at Ohio State. And, collegiately, his system always was friendly to quarterbacks, and they were able to put up big-time numbers. Let's see if he has a quarterback-friendly offense in the National Football League.
Though, the quarterbacks I believe that came into the league that had like a tailor-made, like the picture-perfect offense for them in the last 10 years that I can think of. And I'm talking about far as, mobile quarterbacks that can, toss the ball and also had the same, style of offense in college and came over to the league. Cam Newton, RG3, K1, and who I'm missing? I just had the fourth thing on top of my head. Oh, and Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, and you can throw Lamar Jackson in.
And Lamar Jackson as well.
They
literally came out of the same system
and went into one.
Exactly. So I think I'm excited to see what Trevor's going to do down there in Duval and in Urban Meyer.
Okay. Well, you what? 2 for 2? No, that's 3. You 3 for 3 so far. No, that's 2 for 2. Tim Tebow, Aaron Rodgers. So Pat P so far, and has Pat heard you're 2 for 2. Let's see if you can finish flawless. Next question for you. Zaven Collins, first rounder for the Arizona Cardinals. When he got drafted, he said he is excited to play with who? Uh-oh.
If I had to take a wild guess, I did not see this.
Okay, well, you can guess. The committee is okay with you guessing.
I bet they are. I'm gonna go with. It got to be Buddha.
Got to be Buddha Baker.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, decided to change his number to number jersey 3 this year. So Buddha Baker is your final answer.
Yeah.
Well, Pat P, wrong.
Was it Isaiah?
Zaven Collins, when he got drafted, talented linebacker from University of Tulsa.
Mm-hmm.
When he got drafted, he said, yo, man, I'm excited to play with Patrick Peterson.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
That's crazy. I just saw him at dinner the other night, too. I took my girls to Ocean 44 for daddy-daughter date.
Yeah.
And I saw him having dinner with the linebackers coach.
Yep.
I did see it. That's crazy. And the crazy thing about it, he did say, he said, man, it's a pleasure to meet you, man. This, that, and the other. And because coach introduced me, he was like, yeah, this is Patrick, obviously played with us last year. This, that, and the other. Like, oh man, it's a pleasure to finally meet you. This, that, and the other. If I would have known he said that, I would have said something. But that's funny. I did not know he said that.
Yeah, he said he decided, didn't even know you're not even a part of the Arizona Cardinals. But that tells you, people still remember you for being a Cardinal and you did some real good things. So I think you should feel real good about that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, but you got it wrong though. So that's wrong. That's pretty cool, but you got it wrong. All right. So you two for 1. You got 2 right, 1 wrong. That's cool. You got it wrong. The next question, the final question for you. Final question for you. Michael Vick ran the 40.
Oh, yeah, I saw that thing was stank. Oh.
How fast did he run at 40 years old?
4.7 something. I think it was a 4.72.
Oh, you got it right.
It was funky.
Yeah, it was funky. Okay, so Pat P, when you become 40, what do you think you can clock?
Hey, listen, when I become 40, I'm not even attempting to run a 40-yard dash. Those days are over with, Matt. Ain't been a risk of freaking pulling my back, hamstring, rolling the ankle.
So if you were to run a 40 right now, what you clock, you think?
I can get a 4.4 easily for sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Boy
I
said
can
he
get a 4. I ain't gonna go with no crazy number and say 4
for
3 like I'm
yeah,
still 21 years old.
yeah.
I can get a 4 for sure.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Well, this edition of Has Pat Heard gave
3 for
Pat
1.
Peterson 4 total questions. He got 3 right.
Yeah,
3 for 4.
ain't a bad outcome, man. I
3
take
for
that.
4 today. Okay.
75%.
No question. No
I'm
question.
passing.
No question. Make sure you guys are tuning in. Stay tuned because after halftime, our special guest, Fred Taylor, will be joining us. Make sure you stay tuned. Pat P has Pat Heard 3 for 4 today. Real good, productive day. Shout out to Zaven Collins, by the way. He's excited to play with Pat Peterson. He will play
Yes.
against Pat Peterson this year, though. The
Yeah,
Cardinals will play
yeah,
against
we
the
definitely
Vikings.
gonna see him.
No doubt. We're almost at halftime. But before we get to halftime, we got to take care of 7 questions. Now, our faithful watchers and listeners, remember, it used to be 21 questions, but because Pat Peterson announced on our show he's changing his jersey number from 21 to number 7, we felt that it was only right. It's only right that we change this part of the show to 7 questions. So we had to rebrand it. 21 questions is now turned into 7 questions. Like I said, 7 questions is where we get a chance to interact with you, the fan, the listeners, and the viewers. If you want your question to be answered in the future, leave a question attached to a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, and we may get it to it on the show. This week's question comes from Twins Guy 03. Twins Guy 03. He says, I was looking for another player-led podcast and glad I found this one. Keep the quality and the creative content coming. 7 questions for you. What was your first, and this question is directly to you, Pat Peterson.
Okay.
What was your first positive and negative impression of Minneapolis, Minnesota, when you joined the Minnesota Vikings? Hashtag Vikings Nation.
Well,
What
my
was your
first
first positive and negative impressions, if any?
well, the negative impression was my first time going to Minnesota outside of playing the Vikings was the Super Bowl, which was in 2008, which I think was the greatest Super Bowl party
No,
festivities.
that was 2018, was it?
That's what I said 2008, my bad.
Yeah.
2018.
Okay. Yep. Mm-hmm.
By far who I thought Minneapolis, hosted as far as the festivities, the parties,
It was
had
nice.
one of the better Super Bowls that I've been to, but it was also minus like 17 degrees. And I've never lived in anything colder than 40, I say 30, 33 degrees. 30, 35 is freezing. So I never lived in any climate under 33 degrees. So that's the first negative impression. I still got to wrap my mind around how I'm going to adapt to the tundra out there in Minneapolis. And my positive impression was getting an opportunity to start a new chapter in my football career. You know what I mean? I had the opportunity to spend 10 years here in Arizona, had a great 10 years. Had a great 10-year career there in Arizona, here in Arizona. Built some great relationships, but now have an opportunity to see something new, experience something new, um, is definitely a blessing. So have an opportunity to open up this new chapter in this book that I continue to write of my NFL career.
Okay. Dope. Appreciate you for your question, Twins Guy 03. Nice question, Pat P. Answered it for you. Make sure you continue to give us your questions so we can get them on the show, and we can definitely make sure we answer them and give you a shout out.